What's up, guys? It's your boy Omir. I am back from Iceland. As you can see, I still got my hat on, nice and warm. So today I want to kind of go over some of the things that happened in Iceland, specifically the drone footage from when I almost lost the drone. There were some good things and some bad things that had happened in Iceland. I'll kind of go over everything later. But this particular video is just going to be about how I almost lost the drone and how I saved it. It was a pretty traumatic experience. It was crazy. I was caught off guard by it, I would say. I didn't really expect to have my drone swept out. But just a couple things that I do want to say. First off, when your drone gives you a warning, like say for instance, high wind speed, definitely pay attention to that. Don't be like I did and just take it up and do what you want to do. Second of all, also flying in different countries, you are allowed to fly higher in some different areas. There are a lot of new laws and restrictions going into place now that everybody is buying drones, such as myself. So that's just to kind of keep everybody safe, because you don't want people flying drones around airports and so on and so forth. But with that being said, I was able to fly my drone higher in Iceland, and because of that, it took my drone. You know, the wind just took it and did what it wanted with it, and there was really not too much I could do other than try to fight to get it back. There's a couple things I want to talk about that also would have made the experience a little easier for me to probably get my drone back if I would have, again, just been a little bit more meticulous with some of the things in my planning. But yeah, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it, and let me know what you guys think of the drone. This is the part right here where I started realizing that the drone was way off course. So I took it all the way up in the air, as you kind of saw in the video, and then when we got to this part, I started panning down, and then this is where I realized, oh shit, something's wrong. The drone was supposed to be right over my head, and it's actually right over the ocean. So I actually had stopped the recording so I could figure out what was going on, and then by that time I had already figured out I needed to drop the drone down to the sea level to get some kind of positive push back towards the coastline. So what I'm doing now is I'm basically just trying to fight through the wind, and you'll see there's wind patches where it's blowing so hard the drone is not even moving forward at all. So the entire time I had my thumb on the throttle and I was pushing it forward. I did not take it off at any point in this video. So everything you're seeing is me going full force against the wind. And you can see right there, I hit a patch where it stopped moving, so I dropped it down. Luckily, the battery power was still awesome. It was going great. I didn't have any issues with the battery power. So it sustained itself the entire time. But yeah, I mean, it was just treacherous. I mean, I was just like, I could not get it to go faster than what you're seeing here in the video. And this is, again, full throttle forward. Now, I did not have sports mode activated as I should have, and I should have had the multi-mode setting activated. I didn't have that set up, so that's my fault. I should have had that done. But there wasn't really too much I could do. It was just pretty much just try to do what you can, try to fight back. Here I could you could feel the wind pushing you more to the left side of the screen. So I was trying to fight it and trying to find my path back on. So at this point I was excited. I said, okay, great, I'm on the coastline. Worst case scenario, I'll land this thing somewhere near the coastline, and then I could just walk over and go grab it. But this is extremely treacherous landscape. It is not hiker friendly. It's very scary, very treacherous, very dangerous to try to hike out in these areas. But again, I just wanted to get it as close as I could to where I was based out of, and hopefully it would, cooperate. So at this point, I noticed the drone was starting to stall out again. So just trying to take it up, down, left, right, any direction, trying to break through the force of the wind. It was extremely tough to get over this part of the coastline right here because of how much wind was blowing. It was about 40 to 60 miles per hour variable wind speeds, depending on how high and how low you are to the ground. Right here, I believe it was around in the 40s, but there's a very hilly terrain, mountainous terrain, so you can imagine how bad the wind was. And I mean, I wasn't even confident at this point if the drone were to land or crash land here that it wouldn't be blown back out to sea. By how powerful the wind was. So I really wanted to get it somewhere safer, and at least, I don't know, man, at least a good 100 feet, 200-300 feet away from the shoreline. So if it did blow, I would, hopefully be able to keep it out of the water. At this point, I ran into two guys who were actually flying a drone. And they came over, they saw me struggling, having some issues. They asked if everything was okay. I told them no, I think I'm about to lose my drone. The guy instructs me to throw it into sport mode, which I knew what sport mode was, but my hand was literally, again, stuck to the joystick, pushing it up, trying to move forward. I didn't want to take my hand off of it one bit. I asked the guy to turn it on. He turned it on for me. Sport mode did not activate. It did not activate because, again, I did not have the multi-function mode, multi-speed mode available, I believe is what you call it. And yeah, so that was a complete failure. I was upset by that, but again, I did see positive progress. The drone was, again, moving back towards me. I was excited at this point. I'm like, okay, good. At least I know we're no longer over water. I don't have to have that fear of losing it. Now it's just a matter of, again, fighting through the wind, trying to get it closer and closer. I still had about 60% battery life left at this point, so I was feeling confident that I could get it done. And then I was trying to get my bearing on where I was at, because if you start going off too far in one direction, it could take you a mile away really quick. So now in this part of the video, I'm going to actually speed it up so you'll see it moving a lot faster. I didn't want to play this thing full out at regular speed, so we're going to speed this up. But essentially, you kind of get a gist of it, of where I was at and what I was having to go through and how far this thing drifted off course by the time I brought it back in. Keep in mind, this mountain right here is where I actually launched from, and where you're seeing me come on shore is how far it was blown out at sea by the time I was able to recover it and bring it back in to where I was at. I thought I was too close to the shoreline here. When I looked over, I decided to push it back the other way because I kind of felt the wind making me drift back in that direction. So I figured I needed to fight against the wind and a little bit more. But all in all, I think it was a good lesson for me. I'll probably never do that again. I'm definitely going to pay more attention to the wind speeds and the weather conditions. There was a really bad storm that was blowing in at that moment, but I was on a time crunch and I really needed to get this footage in, and unfortunately for me, I did not get the footage. But that's just the way it works sometimes. You can't have everything, can't always get your way, so it was just something I had to deal with. But good experience, good lessons, and got some cool footage out of it still, so not too bad. Alright guys, so that'll pretty much conclude this video. I appreciate everybody listening in, and let me know what you guys think of it, and let me know what you guys think of the footage. Yeah, so I appreciate you guys stopping by. Make sure to like and subscribe and comment and share. Alright, talk to you guys later. Peace.